a lot of times I notice when I work with people who are posting a cat that was socialized, they tend to remember what the cat was like when they first got the cat. And that's what gets written about in the adoption listing. And I tell people, don't write about who the cat used to be. Write about who the cat is now. They're adopting the now cat, not the just rescued cat, right? And because if you just talk about what the cat was like when the cat was rescued, you're going to undersell the cat, and no one's going to be interested. Everyone at the end of the day, it's like 1% of the population, maybe, who's cool with a cat who doesn't want to interact with you at all. And so you want to highlight who the cat is now. And I know the reason why people do that, right? They do it because A, that's what they remember, but also what they're worried about is they don't want to say the cat is what he or she's like now, worrying that when the cat first arrives at the adopter's home, the cat's gonna, as we all know, needs to go through like 3 weeks of the socialization process again in order to warm up, right? The cat will be hiding and scared at first, but that's okay. The way I handle that in the adoption listings, because I do want to deter impatient people who or people who really just want the mayor who will greet everybody at the door. I want to deter them from applying because it's a waste of their time, a waste of my time. I will put a sentence in every posting that says, "We'll take 3 to 4, we'll take about 3 to 4 weeks to acclimate to a new home and people." Right. And so I don't make a big deal about it, but I do highlight it. So if someone sees that and they're like, that's not for me, they'll move on. And then the people I talk to now, I know they're open-minded about that. And we talk more about it in the actual video chat when I meet adopters to figure out if they're a match with the cat or not, and if the cat is a match for what they're looking for. So we're going to talk about Milo and Candy as they are today, not what they were like before. It's a very rare instance that I talk about where the cat was rescued from. I feel that, again, there's the small subset of the population that's like, oh, if it's a heartbreaking story, that's gonna make me more likely to adopt you. But unless it's super unique, I usually just leave that out. Just focus on having the person imagine what the cat is going to be like in their home. So one example of a unique one is maybe Kevin's sweater kitty. I don't even remember if I did this, but maybe his posting, I would talk about how he was found with a sweater or something like that, and very sick. But I wouldn't really mull over that and spend too much time, maybe 1 or 2 sentences, and then I'd move on. Okay, so Milo and Candy, Cindy, who do you want to pick first? Who's the more outgoing one?
Candy.
What's Candy like? What's her personality like?
She's a tortie, so she's super smart. She needs to be stimulated. We do lots of treat puzzles. She can high five, she can low five. She loves toys. She's just quirky.
Okay, so that's awesome, right? We want quirky cats. They're the ones who sell, not technically sell, but you know what I mean. They're the ones who will stick out. So talk to me more about what makes her quirky. What are the funny things she does? And quirky could even mean something as simple as, I had one cat that I posted about. I said, he always likes to sit on the bathroom sink every morning and watch me brush my teeth. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have a ton of quirkiness for him. He wasn't that quirky of a cat. But even something that may seem commonplace to you, but it's a routine that the cat has, we can include things like that.
She greets me every morning when I come down the stairs, and we sort of play soccer with treats. She likes when I ask her if she wants to play, and she meows at me, and then I toss the treats, and she like soccer goalies them on the I don't know. She's very treat motivated.
Oh my gosh. Cindy, you need to like draw or create a cardboard soccer goal and get a video of her like getting it into the soccer goal. Like that would be really cute within the video.
Okay.
But okay, what else does she do? She soccer goalies them before she eats them.
She eats them. She stops them from going any further, and then she eats them.
Okay.
Um, she, like I said, she likes her treat puzzle. She gets a treat puzzle every night before I go to bed because that is her. It keeps her out of trouble. She likes to chew on things otherwise. So treat puzzles keep her busy, and she always figures them out. She's getting more curious every day. So I hold her every day just for about 30 seconds. I pick her up and she lets me, and then she tells me she wants down. And so I put her down, but,
and how does she tell you to put her down?
She pushes off my chest.
Okay.
And I know she wants down. She's curious. She'll come up the stairs and she's curious about my resident cats. So I've been trying to slowly see what that's going to be like. I still haven't totally decided what I'm going to do with them yet. So I thought might as well start to interact them with my other cats because who knows?
Yeah, no, I think that's good because that way I figure I do that as well. If I know the cat is going to take a long time to get adopted, then I bring them to the main house. If the situation allows it, I'll bring them to the main house because they will, it just puts less pressure on me to feel like I have to hurry up and get you adopted, And,
yes.
But you want to take all your videos and photos, or the majority of your photos and videos for an adoption listing before you move them out. Because if you notice the videos and photos that I had in the two examples, I didn't have other cats going in and out, right? Sometimes I can't help it that you'll see one of them, there's like Captain who just sits there right next to me and stares while the other cat's with me. But for the most part, you want to try to keep other cats out of frame so that the focus really is on that one cat. It's sort of like, when you have a disaster happen and someone says 100,000 people died versus Sally died in this one thing, like we connect more when it's one versus if it's many. So that's why I try to keep it just the one.
Okay. Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon. It just is everything about us is very slow.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So then, let's see. So anything else before we start putting this together?
No, she's funny. She likes to sit on her cat tree and watch me. So she sits where I can see her, but she doesn't want to sit with me, which is fine. But no, that's all I can think of.
So this is important too, right? So you want to include information in the posting about how the cat interacts with humans always. And so she's not a lap cat and she's not a beside you cat.
I'm in the same room with you and I'm going to just make sure I can see you.
Okay. So I know right now she's in a particular room, so it's hard to tell. So when she comes out of the room.
Actually, they are, so I have an apartment downstairs in my house. So they have full reign down here. I sit down here and watch TV and read down here. And so they have full reign there. So my kitten room is actually the only thing they don't have access to anymore.
Got it. So now that they have full reign, does she still like to be in the same room with you?
Oh yeah. Not right now because she's sleeping, but yeah, she'll sit in here. They have 3 or 4 cat trees and a great big picture window. They like to talk to the bugs and the things that they see outside.
Okay. Whenever I talk to adopters, I talk to them about how social do you want the cat to be, your ideal cat, right? So how social and then how affectionate. And I explain social and affectionate are 2 different things. Social is the spectrum between the mayor who greets every stranger at the door versus the loner who just wants to go nap in his shark when strangers come over and wants nothing to do with them. And then you've got the in-between spectrum, right? And then this social is how the cat is with strangers. Affection is how the cat is with the cat family, who the cat has gotten to know and trust. And so I say there's 3 levels of affection. There's lap cat, there's beside you cat who likes to be right beside you, literally. And then there's what I call vicinity cat, who likes to be in the same room with you. Like if you go in a room, the cat will go to that room and just wants to be in the same room with you. Or sometimes maybe wants to be on the sofa with you, but on the other cushion, right? A
Yeah.
couple of feet away. So I say, what out of those three, I always say, what's your ideal and what's your minimum? And that's really important because your ideal usually will end up becoming lap cat. Um, and then minimum sometimes is the beside you, the lap, or the vicinity. And this also helps make a good match for the people in the cat. So
And
so she
they've
sounds like a
gotten better.
vicinity cat.
Yeah, and they've gotten better. Like when my kids come downstairs, I have teens, older teens, and now if my teens shake the treat jar, they will both come. The teens can't pet them, but the teens can give them treats, which is, I mean, better than we were.
Especially because they didn't do any work with Canby and Milo at all, right?
No, no,
Okay.
they just come down here sometimes and hang out with them. So I feel like we make progress every day. It's just just not fast, which is fine.
Yeah. Okay,
They're
cool.
super easy to take care of, so I don't mind having them either.
Got okay. So then the this is also a good one because you'll see a lot of my videos will show the cats like a lap cat or something like that, which is very appealing for most people. But what do you do? How do you post a cat who's not a lap cat, right? How do we still make this
Right.
compelling? So there's a couple of things here that I want to highlight, right? So super smart. That's going to be a big deal. So what I suggest, Cindy, is you do more clicker training with her. She already knows how to high five, how to low five. You
Mm-hmm.
might want to investigate what else there is to do with clicker training. A, because
Okay.
she's mischievous, and clicker training always helps those mischievous cats not get into trouble. But the more clicker training you can incorporate in her post, that's also very novel for most people. It's like, oh my God, I didn't realize you could clicker train a cat. That's pretty awesome. Uh,
Okay.
and and then the more she's used to it, especially because she's mischievous, the doctors can continue the clicker with her. And the
Okay.
nice thing with clicker training is the person and the cat create a really special bond, even stronger than the socialization bond that you create. So that will also help. So the super smart thing is something we want to, as a selling point, and the treat puzzles, right?
Sure.
Okay. So those two. The clicker training is going to be something we want to highlight.
Okay.
And the the she wants you ask her if she wants to play and she meows that she wants to play. That kind of bounces off of the smart thing, right? She's
It is.
smart and communicate with you.
Yeah.
And the soccer goalie thing, I think, is something quirky and unique that we can highlight. Let's see. Um, Looking out the window, talking to the bugs, it could be something we highlight if we didn't have anything else, but I feel like we might make one sentence about that, but otherwise we'll have quite a lot of content to work with. But some cats, for some cats, that's the thing I highlight. That they love,
Right.
gazing out the window all day long and daydreaming. So if you could imagine, like, so you see the words that I'm using and the words that I use in the videos that I showed. I take liberty in uh, making them seem like humans, right? So, literary bookworm or whatever it be, obviously they don't read, but again, it just helps.
Personification.
Exactly, the personification, it just helps. I'm talking to the teacher, so okay. So doesn't want to. Okay, so but we may well, we would want to talk a little, like at least one sentence that she likes to be near you, right? And not talk about her being a lap cat because you don't want to say anything false because then it just again wastes their time, wastes the doctor's time, wastes
Right.
your time when they contact you. So you do want to highlight that she likes to be, be in the same room wherever you are and to keep you company. That or maybe we talk about like your home never feels empty because every room you're in, she's there with you, something like that. Okay. The choose on things, unless with something really, really bad,
It's not.
I don't, yeah. I usually don't highlight negative things in the posting.
Yeah.
I don't lie, But if it's something that I think most people will be okay with, I'll
Yeah,
usually leave it be. And when I talk to the adopter, I talk about that. Like, are you okay? Do you have the time to play with a cat? Because if she's understimulated, she may
right.
start chewing on stuff.
Yeah.
Or like, how much do you love your furniture? That kind of stuff. So those are things that I'll feel out once I talk to the adopter.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's think about this, right? So let's come back to Canby in one moment.
Okay.
How about Milo? What's Milo like?
Oh, Milo. Milo, um, he is he is my super shy. I cannot approach him. He has to approach me. Um, so in the morning, he waits for me and he makes sure I see him. And it's like I can see he wants so badly to interact, but I don't know what he's afraid of. Because in the evening, when it's treat time and he's in my lap with his churu, he knows the rules. To get this churu, I full rein. Um, I put my hand on his belly. I lift up his front paws. I kiss his head.
Wow.
I play
So
with
wait,
his feet.
slow down on that. I want to catch all this. Put hand on
Okay.
belly, kiss his head.
Yep.
Uh-huh. And then what else?
I play with his paws. Um, so when he's having his churu in my lap with crossed legs, um, he knows it's fair game. Foster mom can do just about anything. I have worked on keeping the nail clippers close, and that's a no-go, but I still just try. So he loves to also play. I'll ask him if he wants to play, and he doesn't always answer me, but sometimes if I ignore him, he'll tell me meow meow. He does love to chase bugs, and he stutters
How does he
meow.
chase bugs? In the
Like if
house
there's
or in
a
the
like
window?
if a moth, yeah, if like a moth will get in the door or something, he will chase, and stutter meow, or he's like "Meow, meow, 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 meow," trying to get it. It's
Is the door like uh a screen door, a glass
a
pane like
security
a
screen
see-through?
that sometimes like the bugs will kind of come in on the side of it.
Okay, the screen door. Got it.
Yes.
And what
Um,
does he do when he sees the moth?
that stutter meow, that meow, meow, meow.
Okay.
He loves to look out the window, and he talks to things out the window.
And I think maybe for him, we would highlight that piece, right? We don't need to
Yes.
highlight it for Candy, but we might
Yes.
highlight the window thing.
Um,
Okay.
he's funny.
Anything
So
else?
if I'm sitting down here reading, I actually have a cat kennel down here because I'm trying to work with. I have never tried to put them in, but just in case I had to. So I have a kennel down here that I throw treats in morning and night just so they get used to it. If I'm sitting on the couch reading, he'll sit in the kennel next to me.
Um, he treats it like a big cat cave.
Yeah, it's like his cat cave, but it's just a kennel with a cushion in there, and he'll sit in there while I read. Um, but if I move too fast, he runs out. If I forget he's there or whatever, he will. If I'm sitting on the couch with a blanket, if I have treats, he will climb up onto my legs and eat his treats from my
Oh,
lap.
say that again. So, if on the couch
Yep.
with a blanket,
Yep. He's treat motivated too. Thank
uh,
goodness.
treats on blanket, and he will come up. And when he comes up for the treats, does he hang out or then he jumps off right away once he
Only
finishes the treat?
one time he actually laid down. I almost had a heart attack. I was like, oh my God, Milo's in my lap.
Got it.
But no, usually he doesn't stay. And I try really, to put my fingers out and do the whole, let him sniff me, but he's done.
Okay.
He's a
So,
funny boy.
and I think, something with Milo and Camby, I just want to highlight, given we have other folks on the call too, is I think they can do more. They're just moving slowly. So
Yeah.
it's good that you're continuing the work. We're a little bit so normally I would wait till the cat is beyond these stages before I post them. What I use as my litmus test to decide if I'm ready to post the cat is, do I feel like the cat would settle in well in a new home? That's the key. So but there are some cats that are just naturally shy. So I'm going to show you another cat before we go into more detail on Milo and Candy. Okay. So that's, I know Milo's not yet at the stage where he'll stay for the cuddles, but I wanted to show that to you in terms of the soulful, the independent. You sometimes I've used the words, but he can always be bribed, to make it fun,
Yeah.
right? But he can always be bribed to come. And so the selling point for that is I tell people, oh, you don't want you're concerned about a cat walking in front of your screen during your Zoom calls. Like you don't want a cat to be all over you and kind of trip you up and get in your way, but who will interact with you when you're in the mood to interact? Awesome. Well, there's this cat who you can bribe, right? He'll
Right.
otherwise leave you alone, love to just be in your area, but will give you your space. And whenever you're ready to interact, you just pull out some treats, bribe him, and he'll come play with you and sit on your lap as long as you've got the treats.
That's Milo.
You know?
So my cats are ready. So they're 5 months old, but they're not yet lab cats. But like they will like come like do tricks and ask for pets, but they're not lab cats yet, which is why I guess I'm asking. Once they become lab cats, like should the posting just be updated with like
I
videos
see what you're
of
saying.
a lab cat,
Okay.
or like it be deleted and then reposted so that it gains that new traction, like more traction, since it's going to be like showing up as like new.
Yes. Yeah. So in that case, I would delete the old post and repost it for the exact same reason that you talked about, that the cat will show up at the top. I don't abuse that. And I don't regularly delete a post and post it again just so it shows up at the top all the time, because I don't know if that will trigger something on the adoption listing sites that you do this constantly. But I think if there is something that's worth updating their profile on, I'll delete it and I'll post. I mean, again, I've maybe done it like once, but it is something that I would do. I would just repost the cat. There are some times if I don't have anything new about the cat, but the cat's been posted for like a year and a half. Like there are going to be times when it just takes forever. The 5 months is going to be easy. When you talk about like the 15-year-olds, nobody really is interested. So for those kitties, I'll, if it's been a year and a half, I haven't really encountered this before, but I would imagine I'd probably just delete the post and just try to repost it again. I don't think that's abusing it if I'm waiting that long. I had worked with Lauren on Cola's posting, and so the way she had worded the posting, if I may say so, Lauren, right? So the way you had posted worded the posting initially, it was missing her quirkiness. And although Lauren ended up keeping Cola, but it missed out some of the quirkiness. Like, didn't Cola push her cat tree? Like she would push a cat tree next to your desk so that she could be right beside you.
She literally pushed her cat tree across the room so that it was sitting right next to my desk, and she would hop up and sit next to me.
Yeah, so I think that's really unique, and so we added that to the posting. Okay, so back
something
to
that I was remembering when we were talking about Candy is that like Cola is also a tortie who loves puzzles and is very smart and is very easily clicker trained. And I trained her to sit. I don't know if you've done that yet, Cindy, but training a cat to sit who's doing clicker is really easy. And I put that in the video, and it was like a really cute part of the video.
I'm going to order the clicker book. I'll do that. So during Christmas vacation, we have a thing to work on.
And definitely one of the snippets you want to include in the video will be linking skills, right? Because one skill, whatever, but when you link skills, it looks really cool. So do a sit, high five, low five. And if she combines all three together, one after the other, it looks really impressive in a video.
Cola's also
I
not always a beside you cat or like a lap cat, but she is like an in the room cat. So she was the type to like, rather than come into my lap, push her cat tree across the room and sit next to me. But she's always has to be in the room with me. That's something that people really like, even if she's not always in my lap or right next to me. Like the fact that she's always in the room with you is like it's good company.
And I what I found also is usually people who grew up with cats when they were younger, or who have had cats before, they're more likely to be understanding that, oh yeah, I understand that cats want their own space. That's like what my cat was like growing up, you know. And side note, I think I talked a little bit about this in one of the Q&As that we had posted, but I can also do another session. Is one of the questions that I ask adopters is, can you talk? I always start off the conversation with, talk to me about all the cats that you have known, right? Cats you've had, cats you grew up with, friends' cats. What are each of them like? Because and I explained why I ask it. I said, I ask this because usually the past experiences people have had with the cat personalities, that's what they're expecting of a cat when they get one, especially if they've never had a cat before. If they have had a cat, sometimes they're used to cats of a certain personality type. So that also helps me to match them better. So Canby, right? Super smart, like treat puzzles. We're gonna play on the smart thing. And and this is where I just sit there and let it percolate, and I throw ideas. I let it percolate in my head and I just feel it, but you can, even if you're the type, write all your different ideas down and see it on paper and see what sits. But I'm like, smart, but sporty. I have had some adopters really be interested in cats who talk to them. So, because like if they live alone, like you never feel lonely, right? So let's try to find something like can be, and then like a 2 or 3 word adjective.
I call her Chatty Canby, who's wicked smart. That's what I usually say about her.
Oh, that's cool. I think that's really nice, right? Wicked smart, chatty Canby. How about that? I think that's nice, right? Wicked smart, chatty Canby, because if you see like, Puff,
right?
Lulu, or whatever, all these different names, but you see wicked smart, chatty Canby, that might make people stop in their tracks and at least click. So that's cool. Okay. And then we'll include a bit more information. And if you don't mind, what I'll do is, just so I'm aware of the time flying by very quickly, we may work, Cindy, together on a posting that I can email back to everybody who registered to show them what it looks like at the end.
Sure.
Right. But essentially we're gonna talk about the way we word it, though. I want to just highlight to people is we're going to word it about, it's always going to talk about you, not third person, because you really want all the words to make the person be able to imagine themselves there. So she greets you every time you wake up in the morning, right? She talks to you, et cetera, et cetera. We try to add enough descriptive words so that they can imagine this in their head, but not too heavy that it becomes very slow to read either. Because you're only going to have maybe 3 short paragraphs by the time you're done. 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, short ones, each with a different topic. So we'll talk about her intelligence, we'll talk about her play, and then we'll talk about how she interacts with you, and then we'll close it out. And maybe a few sentences about, and she loves her brother. Is Milo her brother, or
Milo's her brother?
Yeah. And she absolutely loves her brother Milo, who is blah 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 blah, right? Whatever we decide for Milo.
Well, Milo is gorgeous. His fur is stunning with his big, thick black stripes. He's a beautiful cat.
Ooh, so one thing is, I do, from the way you described him, I do like the adjective soulful.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel it fits. Yeah, he's soulful.
Yeah.
But maybe we could talk about, and this might not be in the description itself, but we may talk about in the post about he's gorgeous, but don't take that to mean that we won't use this exact wording, but like he's so full of himself at how beautiful he is that he's aloof. it's just because he's really shy and just really wants to be accepted and loved. Right? Like how many people can connect with that because we've all been there.
You know, there's a lot going on. You can see he wants to interact. Like he does. You can see a lot going on in his eyes. He wants to be part of what's going on. I think sometimes he doesn't just know how.
He really wants. I wouldn't even just say wants love. He wants your love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to be accepted, something like that.
Yeah.
Shy. Okay. So we'll talk about these points when we work on the description and then share that back with everybody.
She said that she's socializing in a bathroom, and she isn't sure she'll be able to let her cat out of the bathroom or a playpen before adopting the cat out. And so her question was, how can these posting tips be modified if that's the space we have? And I wanted you to comment because I know that you don't always advise adopting straight out of a small space. Because approach work has to be done in a home. So what would you say to that?
Yeah, so that's a bit challenging because again, that's why Milo's going to be a hard sell because he's not into approach right now. Is almost all adopters want to at least be able to walk up to their cat and pet them, right? Oh, and I think Cindy will have to talk about, Milo likes to get pet. I believe he said that. But so if it's this, that's a tough one since you can't really work on approach when the space is so small. Sarah, is there any way you can have the cat in your bedroom if you have roommates? We have a way that we block off under the bed.
Yeah, I can definitely. I'm in a 1-bedroom. It's just me. The tricky thing is it's 4 cats. So we scooped up a litter and got them TNR'd. They are 3 out of the 4 are approach friendly as of now, and 1 is allowing pets as of now. The rest are somewhat tolerating toothbrush pets while they feed, but as of now they're just but they luckily only 1 runs and hides when I come in the bathroom, and even they are warming up. So my hope is I can modify socialization because I'm learning. It's my first time, so I'm learning as I go, and I just can't thank you enough for all your Instagram amazingness. But yes, in learning more about these posting tips, I'm realizing that I want to get the best footage I can, and in a small space, I'm not sure. So maybe it might be taking 1 cat individually into the bedroom one at a time, or
so there's 2 parts to that. So one is how to get those videos, right? So to get the videos and the pictures, I would take 1 cat at a time to the bedroom, or the main house if that cat is handleable. I mean, I hope the cat can be put back in or lured back in. But the other thing is the cat who doesn't like to get approached, you probably want to have that cat stay with you in your bedroom for an extended period of time and just live in your bedroom. And we have pictures of how to block off under the bed, because the second the cat goes under the bed, forget it, you can't interact with them. And you might even want to have 2 of the cats in that room so that the cat who's afraid to get approached will feel less vulnerable. So we can, Sarah, just make sure to connect with me and Lauren afterwards, and we can have a separate chat with you on that. And also, I think some of the things you commented, we might have some adjustments based on what you mentioned that may help.
Absolutely. I really appreciate it. I'll be sure to connect.
Cool. Okay, great. And I think the Q&A connecting is really great, because the last time we did a Q&A, which was like so long ago, one of the people who had a ton of questions ended up being one of my favorite socialization examples. So because he was very aggressive and wanted to kill them at first, and now he's the most awesome love bug, and they ended up adopting him.